guys, Ian from RTO here. Welcome to another live album ranking, which means we've reached Friday again. Before we start, just a big thank you to my guests last night on the live stream. Last night we had Richard up, we had Simon, Mastermind Dave came in and did his bit. Then we had Stevie's Vinyl Cupboard. Rob Walker came up and did his quiz. Nick had a knotted hanky on his head. Next week he's threatening to have a string vest and a deck chair. And then Mike from Vinyl Spiral came up as well. It was a really good chat again, and thanks to everyone in the Peanut Gallery. And I had a very special guest, Matt Batson, who came up and showed me a Bertha album, and hopefully I shall be getting it from him. We've got to sort that out. So thank you very much last night. It is growing, and that's all down to you for watching. So a big thank you. Anyway, back to business. So today we're going to look at the live albums of INXS. It's only 3, but it's a weird one because 2 of the albums are based around one tour. So INXS, Australian of course, formed by Farriss Brothers in 1977, and that's keyboardist Andrew Farriss, drummer John Farriss, and guitarist Tim Farriss. They brought in Gary Beers on the bass and Michael Hutchins on vocals. Very successful band, you know, broke out of Australia. Some really good albums, especially them early ones. Really into INXS. Sadly, in 1997 we lost Michael. Very, very sad. They brought in JD Fortune and then Kieran Gribben. They were still turning it out, and the album they made after them wasn't too bad, but they finally retired in 2012. So, as I said, 3 albums, all based around, mostly based around one album, well, one tour, sorry. So, coming in at number 3, now this is from 1991, and it's Live Baby Live, the first live album from INXS. It was recorded during the summer of 1991 on their Summer XS tour. So it's taken from all over the world. They're taking bits from Paris, New York, Chicago, London, Glasgow, Rio, and some in Sydney and Melbourne. So the band at the time on this one was Michael Hutchins on lead vocals, Tim Farriss lead guitar, Andrew Farriss on the keyboards, John Farriss on the drums, and Gary Beers on the bass. Now this opens up with New Sensation. Great song, really good live. Guns in the Sky is brilliant live. Mystified, By My Side, and then they throw in a studio track. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Shining Star, it's a good song, but I didn't want to hear it on a live album. Need You Tonight and Meditate go together like fish and chips. One by One, Burn For You, which is I think it's a track off Shaboo Shaboo, but it's one of the early tracks. One More Thing, This Time, The Stairs, Suicide Blonde, Hear That Sound, Never Tear Us Apart, and What You Need. Now, this is a great songs, don't get me wrong, I love these songs, but there's no atmosphere on this album. Absolutely none whatsoever. And it's not the running order. And why put the studio track smack bang in the middle of it? Most people that do that put after the concerts, usually at the end of the album. Rolling Stones have done it, Whitesnake have done it. You put it at the end of the album. Don't put it in the middle of the album because it just breaks it up. The sound is a little hollow, especially the drums. I don't know what the sound was like on it. I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10 because I like the tracks on it, but it's just the production and the one in the middle, it just sort of ruins it. Okay then, coming in at number 2. Well, this is from, it was released in 2005, but the concert is actually from 1993 and it's live at Barker Hangar. Now Barker Hangar is at the Santa Monica Airport in Southern California, and it was a little dig of 4,000 people, and the concert sold out in less than 3 minutes. So it's Gary, Andrew, John, Michael and Tim, and Kirk Pengelly joined them on guitars and saxophones and vocals. Some good tracks on this one. Opens up with Communication, Days of Rust, which is pretty cool. The Gift, love that track. The Loved One, Cut Your Roses Down, Taste It, Need You Tonight and Meditate, really good. Please, You Got That, excellent version there. Suicide Blonde, always really good live. I Send a Message, All Around, What You Need, New Sensation, Kick, great version of that on there. Devil Inside is just absolutely killer on this. Heaven Sent, Time and the Messenger. This was only available on download, but it's pretty good. We got some. It's a real good mixture of songs. Excellent concert. Would have been very special to be only one of 4,000. There's a bit of screaming at the beginning, but it doesn't spoil it at all. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. So number 1 came out in 2014 and it's live at Wembley Stadium. It was filmed on the INXS tour, summer tour of 1991. 72,000 fans, and it was also filmed on 35mm and directed by David Mallet with no less than 17 cameras. So it's the same band, and this is reasonably in the right order. It is in the right order. Opens up with Guns in the Sky, absolutely brilliant. New Sensation, I Sent a Message, The Stairs. As you see, it's a different run into Live Baby Live. Know the Difference, Disappear, Be My Side, Hear That Sound, Original Sin, which is killer on here. The Loved One, Wildlife, Mystify, Bitter Tears, Suicide Blonde, What You Need, Kick, absolutely killer version on here. Need You Tonight and Meditate. God, does this sound good on here. Michael is absolutely on fire. Never Tear Us Apart. Who Pays the Price? Devil Inside, and we end up with Shining Star. Now, when you listen to this against Live Baby Live, this is so superior. The sound is perfect. Now Wembley Stadium is one of them. This was the old Wembley. The old Wembley Stadium, which has had a lot more echo because the sound used to get trapped underneath the stadium and used to bounce about all over the place. But they got this right, and it sounds so much better. They've cleaned it up. I think Live Baby Live was a little bit of a rushed thing, and it was hacked and made it into more of a greatest hits thing. But this is the proper thing, and this is when I think INXS were at their supreme best. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9 out of 10. So there we go. It's a very short one today, but it's just one of an unusual live catalogue where you get Live Baby Live, which the sound is not very good, and then they re-release it as live at Wembley, and it's the whole gig, and it absolutely rocks. It's a great live album. So if you haven't got any of them, don't get Live Baby Live. Get straight to Live at Wembley. Okay, coming up next, we've got 2 new album reviews. First, we're going to do some power metal with Metal Church, heavy metal, and their Congregation Annihilation album. And then we got a great band that have been around for so long, and that's Sparks and The Girl Is Crying in Her Latte. So that's all coming up. So I'll see you later. Bye for now.